Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of Just the Plant Room. So today, longly anticipated and awaited, we are going to do our absolute best to show you all of the plants that are lined up against this wall. So if you're interested in this type of content, stick around. We'll be right back. We need to shift some things. See you in a minute. Hey guys, so welcome back. Um, the logistics in trying to do this video has been a little crazy, so the room looks a little disorganized, but we hope to give you clear shots of all of the plants that are on poles that live up against this wall. The only thing I'm going to say about care is that they all get light from above, and I have these two standing grow lights. Other than that, we'll revisit care on another video. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with this one that's right here. So this is my glass hands. And it was sold to me with a different name that I can't pronounce and we'll put on the screen. But I showed this when it was a wee baby and somebody said it was a glass hand. She has grown tremendously. Bought her in a 3-inch pot. And this is her today. Love the leaves. And as you can see, she's unfurling and get one here. So this is my glass hand, recently extended. Okay, cool. Now, this big guy over here, this is my Florida green. And as you can see, it's reached the top of its moss pole. At some point, I am going to either, well, there is no either. I will have to chop and prop. But it has been happy in this corner. I pulled her out of there so that you guys could see her. But look at the size of these leaves. She's a beast. She's a happy beast. And she's one of my favorites. And then we pulled her out of the corner so that you could get a closer look at this. This is my Monstera and I think I said that correctly. Now, this is the plant in previous videos that you saw going across the wall, but she didn't want to stay that way. So what I did recently was I carefully bended her down, and I'm trying to train her to come back up. These are some of the leaves that are trying to come back up. As you can see, she stopped fenestrating, but I'm sure she'll go back to that fenestration once she figures out that that's what I'm trying to do to her. This guy here is a Pinnatum albal, and it actually has 2 stalks going up the pole, but this one here has been slow to grow, and that's because it's the one that's heavily variegated. But she has started fenestrating, which is really cool. And she's bringing some of that variegation back to those top leaves. I don't know if you can see that, but she's got that camouflage thing going on right there. I think it's really, really pretty. And again, she's getting to the top of her moss pole. This is one that I actually had to anchor into the wall with one of those picture hooks, so she could stay stable. But very pretty plant. Alrighty then. So this is my Jerry Horn. It has grown considerably. I think you can see the leaves here, and she's putting out a new one. I recently extended this pole, and I gotta say, this one has me a little concerned because it takes a long time for that water to go down. So let's go ahead and give it a squeeze and see if we can get her to drink. But yeah, she also came in a 3-inch pot. And as you can see, those leaves are sizing up. I don't know if they get more lobes here. I guess they do because this one looks a little different, but it's pretty plant. Grows nice, big, and strong. This bad boy right here is my Syngonium, which I know you guys know because I've talked about it a lot, very frequently. Recently, it was reaching the light So this one got propagated, and I think we have some video of that. We'll be coming out with a video on how I did that. But after the propagation, she put out new leaves on the top, and then this is the bottom half, and it's putting out its first leaf there. And as you can see, it's a little wonky and small, but that's to be expected until she regains her strength. But I'm very pleased with the progress that she's making. And her leaves are on the top half that I cut. They're still sizable. So very pretty plant. Highly recommend this one. This guy over here is the Mexicanum. So very similar to the Jerry Horn. If you look at them, I think the lobes on the Mexicanum are a little bit more pronounced. They look more like bunny ears, but very similar in their appearance. This one has gone root crazy, root wild. Also came in a 3-inch pot maybe about 2 years ago. And we're going to put up a picture of what this looked like when I started the plant room back in September of last year. You guys are going to laugh at the size of these plants. But yeah, this one is the Mexicanum. And then over here, I have my silver sword narrow form. Um, this one's interesting. I don't think the leaves actually size up any more than what I'm seeing, but she does seem to enjoy going up the pole. So I don't know if, typically we put them on the pole because we want them to size up. I'm not sure that this plant is going to actually do that. But nonetheless, she still looks pretty on the pole, and there's 2 lines going up. With this particular plant, I think when she reaches the top of the pole, rather than extend the pole, I'm going to propagate and resod the bottom so it can get a little bit more fuller. But that's my thought process with that one. Over here we have my mini Monstera, which recently I propagated. Um, I didn't want to extend this one because I actually have 2 more in the other room. These grow like weeds. So I've propagated, and I'm hoping to either raffle some off or give some away as gifts. But yeah, this is a cool plant to have. And if you want something that grows real fast and latches onto the pole, this one would be a good candidate for that. This guy here, this is my silver sword. I am anxiously awaiting the day when those leaves get long and big. This one started out fairly slow. She didn't want to grow, but she seems to be sizing up a little bit more. I can say that I'm very happy with its progress, and I love the color of those leaves. Can't wait to see what she does in the mature form. And then this one is referred to as a golden violin. And as you can see, another one that's above her moss pole. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I may extend it one more time and then propagate it and put them together to get a fuller plant. But right now, she seems to be happy in this location. I love the way the leaves come out when they come out. When they first emerge, they're that light lemon lime color, and then they darken off. This one right here, I can't say, so give me a minute. This is a Oxapopens triangular. Now, I didn't know much about this plant when I initially bought it, but I thought it was kind of cool, and it was inexpensive. So I was like, what the heck? Let's give it a try. I have to say I like the leaves, and the name reflects the leaves. The leaves are very triangular and such. I don't know if she will get lobes or not, but either way, she seems to be very happy and growing quite content in that corner. This is my Bobsy. He also lives up against this wall in that corner. Um, yeah, he's doing real good. Since the last time I showed him to you, he put out this leaf, and he's got one on the way. All right. So moving right along. Move him here. Here's my Patricia. I really love this baby. She also lives right up in here somewhere. Obviously moves for this. Getting ready to extend this moss pole. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I had to order some because the size I have is little. These lazy poles come in different sizes, and the one that I currently have is bigger than what's on here. But yeah, this is her latest leaf, and it looks like she's getting ready to put out one more. So super happy with her growth. This is, let's see if we can get him to move out the way a little bit. The Monstera standardii. I think that's how you pronounce that. Very pretty plant. I recently propagated this because I didn't like the growth pattern that it had. And as you can see, she's trying to put out a totally variegated leaf. We'll see what happens with that. Potentially, I might snip that back one more time so that we can promote some more green on that stem. And then this is my elegance. And while this plant isn't really looked at a lot or spoken about a lot, I think she's very pretty. I like that she's a little different than the typical philodendron leaves. She gives off that little palm type feel vibe to her, but she seems to be very happy. This was an import from Ecuagenera. And then this is my Felix. So I'm not quite sure how I feel about my Felix right now. I think it's potentially my fault because I tried to experiment with the pole. I don't know if you can see that. It's like cocoa coir in the front and then moss towards the back. And I got to tell you, he doesn't really like that. He's not attaching to this pole, and the leaf size started to go down. So potentially what I might do with this plant is chop it back, get some nodes, and restart it on a smaller pole. We already talked about this big boy, so we're going to go ahead and add some up. But this is a Pathos Silver Streak. Now, I know it's weird to see this one on the pole. Most of the time I've seen it on just in a regular pot, but I wanted to see if it was going to do anything different. And what I did notice is that the leaves are longer. Now, does it look all that great? Probably not. This is probably another one of those candidates where I'm going to chop and prop to get a fuller plant. But I do like what it's done as far as the leaf size and the striations. Those leaves are beautiful and the color is just awesome. This is my Monstera Esqueleto. Now, my goal is to get those humongous leaves I've seen. But this guy started out as a wee itty bitty guy. So I'm proud of the growth that he's made. He is growing up the pole the way I want. Eventually, when he hits the top of this pole, I am not going to extend. I'm going to propagate and fill the pole to give it a little bit more structure and make it a little bit, heftier. And then this is another philo that I don't see a whole lot or very often. This is a Palorens, and there's just something really funky about her leaves. This is her latest leaf. They're different, and sometimes different is good. This one was also an import, and it started off a little shaky, but it's doing really well now. So this is one of those plants that doesn't give me much trouble. When the pole is dry, I'll water her, and she's good to go. So yeah, this is a Palorens. Now up in front right here, we have a chia pens. Now you guys have seen me do a spotlight on this chia pens. Update on this one. It looked like it was trying to get root rot. I ended up having to take it out of the pot that it was in, check the roots. I repotted her in something a little larger. And she seems to be doing okay. She lost a lot of the leaves on the bottom, but nothing else has started to discolor. So I think we're on a path to recovery on that one. And then, I don't know if you can see this one, but I will pick it up. I showed you this plant when I got it. This is recent to my collection. I haven't had it very long. This is one of those Syngonium Godzillas. It caught my attention because it looks a lot like the Shangri-La Pothos. We'll see what she does. I told you on that video that I wasn't going to put her on a pole, but she just didn't seem very happy in the pot. She was leaning and going all over the place. So I figured, what the heck, let's see what she does on here. And there are two more. This is my Majestic, and it's doing okay. She's been putting out wonky leaves, and I've been checking for pests to make sure that there's nothing on there. I think with this particular plant, it might be an issue with the humidity because I am not seeing any pests. I did treat her with insecticidal soap, but I don't know. She's just not doing her best, but it's okay. She doesn't look half bad. And if things go south, I'll propagate her and make sure that I have a cutting so I can restart the plant. And then there's one more. All right. This is my splendid. Now, who says that we all have beautiful plants all the time? That is absolutely not true. As you can see, this splendid looks like it has been to war and back. Um, I think this was a fungal issue. She's been treated. I have propagated her. I do have some babies or some wet sticks to see if I can get some new plants. Luckily for this one, it has two stems going up. And I think it's going to be okay. She hasn't been unfurling the prettiest of leaves, so I'm hoping the restart the cut at the top will promote better growth. And if not, at the end of the day, I'll chop her up into sections and restart her again so that I can get a prettier plant, lusher. So that is it for the plants that live on this side of the room against this wall. I hope you enjoyed this tour. If you've got plants growing on poles, let's talk about it. Leave me a comment. Tell me which plants you have growing and which ones you find to be easier for you to grow vertically. Guys, that's all I have to show you for today. Get ready for part 2. Don't know where we'll start, but it'll be coming soon. As always, thank you for spending time with us. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment. Talk to you real soon. Bye.